Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you're all doing well. It is match day, Empoli versus Juventus, an important game today. There are no excuses, there are a lot of excuses, but we can't use them because today we have to go for a win that we were not able to go for when we played in our home versus Empoli. You remember that defeat after the draw in the match day 1 versus Udinese. Today we will have to go there with a lot of players that are injured and are not there. We are speaking about a lot of names, we will go through them, but with a Vlahovic that, as you can see in that beautiful art of my friend Aman, is already there. Looks like Assassin's Creed with the ball in his hand. What does that mean when a player has the ball in the hand and when he go at home with that ball? It means that he scored a hat-trick. Will Dusan Vlahovic score his first hat-trick with Juventus today? We will be able to see it. If you want to know where I will be on the YouTube channel of Juventus 30 minutes before the game for a beautiful watch-along. What will we speak about in that video? I told you already the lineups, the players that will not be there. We'll speak a lot about Allegri because I know a lot of people do not like Allegri, but we'll have to speak about him. So I'm curious about the Allegri haters, what they will think. And of course, we finish as always with some Mercato rumors because there are two players from Empoli that we will have to check and to watch because maybe Juventus is interested. And then another player, a big and important player for the midfield of Juventus. Guys, we start immediately after the intro. Corriere dello Sport opened immediately with non vincono più. They are not able to win anymore. They are not winning anymore. Who are they speaking about? About the two teams from the city of Milano, about Milan and Inter, that yesterday in match day 27 they opened it because they are playing against each other in Coppa Italia in the middle of the week. Yesterday, not a great result for both of the teams because Milan did 1-1 versus Udinese and Genoa did 0-0 versus Inter. It's already the third consecutive game that Inter is not even scoring anymore. Between the game versus Sassuolo and the game versus Genoa, Inter did 50 shots, or at least they had these kinds of attempts 50 times. That's a lot of time, but only 9 times on target, and they scored 0 goal. Disaster for the teams of Milano. I don't know if they will be able to go and to fight for that Scudetto or they will give it to Napoli. Some Juventini, they are believing that winning today versus Empoli, that means that Juventus is back in the run for the Scudetto. Calma, guys. I don't believe it. I really don't believe it because, guys, it's not because the other teams are losing that Juventus suddenly becomes the best team in the world. We are not yet, but we will have to win to fight to secure that top 4. Unfortunately, speaking a bit about Mercato, you know how much Juventus was interested in Andrea Cambiaso, the left back from Genoa. Yesterday, big injury. Today, they will see how long he will miss it. But guys, I believe that all negotiation with Juventus for next season will stop. I hope that he recovers really soon. Gazzetta dello Sport, Furia Milan. Milan is a fury. They are protesting around the referee. They are saying that they are not happy. They are speaking about VAR and all these kind of things. Why? Because the goal of Udogi, another player that is linked to Juventus, he scored his first goal in Serie A 10 years after the non-goal of Montari. Do you remember when Buffon did that miracle save? Yes, it was over the line, but don't tell it to Milan fans or they will be crazy. Yesterday, apparently, he scored with his hand into his first goal in Serie A, and they did 1-1. They are super furious. They are not happy, and then you see below, you see Allegri with a big smile. Allegri with a big smile because he knows, he's jinxing it. Da Empoli a Empoli, 11 punti di rimpianti from Empoli to Empoli, 11 points that we are really regretting. And maybe that today, if we had won these games that we will speak just now about, maybe that we will be in the run for the Scudetto. I repeat, I don't believe it, but what were these games? 2-2 versus Udinese. Do you remember after leading 2-0? We lost versus Empoli 1-0. Sassuolo losing 2-0. Verona, we lost 2-1 and then we did a draw. 11 points in total that we could have done better. Andreazzoli, the trainer of Empoli, he is believing it. He's motivating his team, telling them riproviamoci, let's try again. So that will be really difficult. And then Tutto Sport, 8 assenti, un Vlahovic, 0 alibi. Beautiful actually, because he's saying 8 people will not be there today for the game, 8 players, 1 Vlahovic, because that's 1 Vlahovic more than we had versus Empoli in the first game, but 0 excuses. Why? Let's go through the 8 players that will miss today. We are speaking about Chiellini, Chiesa, Dybala, McKennie, Alexandro, Bernardeschi, Rugani, and Caio Giorgi. On top of that, you have to say even the Winter for under 23 that was called up when we needed him. He will not be there, and then a Bonucci that will be there. He will probably play, but he's absolutely not at 100% of his shape or his form. So that's a lot of players that are missing. What is Allegri saying about? Is he doing like Maurizio Sarri that is complaining about the Europa League, that he doesn't like this European Cup? Is he like Conte crying? Is it like a lot of trainers crying, like Pioli, like Spalletti, like Simone Inzaghi, that some of the teams were even calling ASL to not play the game because they were missing 1 or 2 players? Guys, no. And this is something that you have to respect about Massimiliano Allegri. Since the beginning of the season, we have bad luck on bad luck on bad luck on bad luck, missing so many players. How many teams would have cried about not having Federico Chiesa doing these beautiful assists for Vlahovic? How many trainers and clubs and supporters would cry if Dybala would have his 4th muscular injury of the season? And so on and so on. Missing the most informed midfielder of the season, Weston McKennie. But we have 0 excuses. We are not crying. We are Juventus, and we will try to do our best. I believe it's even a miracle that we are still in that top 4 run. Some people are believing in the Scudetto. If you are believing in the Scudetto, it is because Juventus is probably doing even more than what they are able to do. And this is something that you have to take into consideration, guys. Entering the game of today, you see the squad list with a lot of players that will miss. Short squad list and new players that will be there. Not Caio Giorgi. He will recuperate in 8 months. We know that. But who will be the players that will come? We are speaking about 3 players from under 23 that a lot of fans are waiting to see playing at least a few minutes in the game. We are speaking about Marley Aké that already started with Juventus, and the minutes that he played, he did them really well. We are speaking about Fabio Miretti that can start his first game in Serie A today. From the debut, absolutely not, but maybe entering. And then we are speaking about Matias Soulé that we are all in love with. Matias Soulé, Marley Aké, and Fabio Miretti, the future of Juventus. 3 players from under 23 that we love, that we can't wait to see playing for Juventus. Will they play today? Probably yes, because we have so many absences. The only one that might have a chance to start today is Marley Aké, starting instead of Cuadrado on the right side, playing a 4-3-3, maybe with Moisken on the left side, or maybe with Morata. Let's see, but it will be a really young Juventus if you have Moisken, Vlahovic, and Marley Aké in the top 3 offensive. What is Tuttosport saying about the lineup? Something maybe a bit more realistic. A 4-4-2 with Cuadrado on the right, with Rabiot playing that hybrid left winger, but actually it will be a 3-man midfield. Locatelli, Zakaria, and then Vlahovic and Moisken up front, with Pellegrini playing on the left instead of De Sciglio. Probably De Sciglio resting for Coppa Italia. We continue with the news, guys. Occhi su Aslani e Viti. 2 players from Empoli that probably Aslani will play today in the middle of the field. Viti will be on the bench. But 2 players that we have to pay attention to, because Juventus is interested in these young players also from other teams. Guys, there are no agreements between Ryan Gravenberch and Ajax to extend his contract that will finish in 2023. We know that Gravenberch said that if he leaves Ajax, he wants Ajax to have some money for him, so that means that in the summer he will leave. And like Giovanni Albanese is saying, Gravenberch is on top of the list of Juventus. Why? Because from next season what they want to do is putting Locatelli as a box-to-box on the left side, Gravenberch as a number 6, and then on the right side Zakaria or McKennie. What a young and beautiful midfield that we can have in the future. But focus first on now, guys. We have to focus first on now, guys. This is it for the rest of the video. Of course, there are the news about the Super League. We will wait a bit before speaking about that, because we have to focus on Empoli. I hope you enjoyed the video. I was in a rush today, so it's probably not the best performance ever. It is what it is. I hope you enjoyed it. Put a maximum of likes. Subscribe to the channel, and we will see each other on YouTube of Juventus for the watch along, and on my channel for the post game today. Grazie, forza, Juve.